Hello everyone, I'm Ronald Fry, and I want to do a follow-up on a video that I made a few days ago. I pointed out in the video how we were a part of an era back in the 60s, predominantly in the South, that no one's proud of. Of course, there's probably people who really still stand by that, which is obvious. But that's not what it's really about. What it's about is what took place back then is having terrible side effects on our country now. And it's kind of like a medication. If you take it over an amount of time, years later, it could have an effect on you. And that's basically what the actions that took place in the southern part of our country has done. It's had side effects decades and decades later. And the best, I'm gonna try to give a good example. And the best way I could do that is, we'll say there was a point in time in our country where people fell in love with the sport of baseball. And decades later, people are still embracing that love for baseball. Well, for lack of a different word to use, people fell in love with a way of life that was taking place in our country in the 50s and 60s, once again, mostly in the South. And here we are, decades later, they still embrace that. I'm not saying everyone embraces it, but there are still a small portion of people who embrace the love that they had for that era. Now, it's in different fashions and forms. It's not taking place like it was back then, but it's still taking place. And I'm saying all that to say, if anybody who watched my first video immediately got uncomfortable or felt I were trying to stereotype white people, which I wasn't. I was just speaking on a particular era. And by doing it, I used examples of a certain age bracket who just happened to be kids in that era. See, the thing is right now, no one needs to be uncomfortable. No one needs to be walking on eggshells. People need to speak what's on their mind, and they need to speak truth. They need to speak facts, We're only 50, 60 years removed where a black person couldn't drink from the same water fountain as a white person. Black people had to go to the back of the bus so they wouldn't be sitting in the same area as white people. And although we have advanced a great deal since then, there's just parts of our life, our lifestyle, that it kind of still dictates that behavior, and it just happened to surface in different fashions from time to time. And it's gotten to a point where we're where we at now. I pray for more feedback from this video than I got from my last video. And I'll continue to share excerpts from my book. Everybody have a blessed day and be safe.